It's your boy Sam back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking about the new terms of service that Take-Two is having and making everyone opt into if they do want to continue playing the game. Now, basically, there was a QR code that popped up on the game that everybody saw about new TOS, and everybody's like, what is this meaning? We're going to be briefly talking about that in this video. Now, I gotta say this, guys, every game has a TOS, and so the one thing I do want to tell you guys is, like, TOS is nothing new. These clauses is nothing new for video games, but there's a reason 2K updated their TOS. What I heard is that there was, like, maybe a lawsuit this year, and that made 2K change it to protect themselves a little bit more, but I don't know exactly, okay? So, again, I'm not, a lawyer. I've never went to law school, anything like that. But let's look at this term of service, and I'm going to identify some things that really stick out to me. It basically says, this agreement is a legal contract. Again, it's nothing new. Everybody has their TOS. And again, it's so like, if you go from top to bottom, it's so long. Nobody's going to take the time to read this. And that's what 2K knows. 2K knows that the average person isn't going to take the time to read it. It says nothing in this agreement is intended to limit or exclude the application of any mandatory consumer laws. You guys can see all of those types of things. And it says experience are inclusive and respectful for all users and our employees and contractors. But I don't think that's the reason that this is in place. That's just kind of my opinion on it. Now it says this agreement contains a mandatory arbitration clause and a waiver of class action and jury rights for all users residing in the United States and any other territory other than Australia, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, and all other territories of the European Economic Area for covered users unless you opt out. So you can opt out of this, and we'll look at it here in a second. Unless you opt out via the process in Section 15.5, you will be bound by the arbitration agreement, which means that you and Take-Two will be required to resolve any dispute subject to limited exceptions by final and binding individual arbitration. The arbitration clause waives your right to a jury trial and to participate in class action, collective actions, and all other types of court proceedings. You acknowledge that you understand, and unless you validly opt out, expressly agree to the mandatory arbitration clause and class action jury trial waiver. Now, supposedly, you can write to 2K and opt out of this. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but this just seems like basically 2K is limiting your right to take them to court is basically what I'm getting at this. Now, I could be completely wrong on that. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. So I think this section right here is the section that a lot of people are upset about. Virtual items. Now, we'll read through it together and talk about some important things that are said in here that you guys really need to look at and understand. So it just talks about virtual items. What they are. It says virtual items are licensed under the terms of this agreement, and nothing shall be interpreted as transferring any rights or ownership interest in such virtual items to you. So every card after February 28th, after you agree to whatever terms are, that's not your card. Even though it's on your account, even though you spent money towards that card is not your card. Basically is what 2K is saying. They're not transferring items to you. Virtual items are only available to users in certain locations, obviously, as you guys can see. Virtual items may only be redeemed for content made available through the services, which generally is game specific. Virtual items have no monetary value, cannot be used outside of the services, and may not be sold, transferred, or redeemed for real money or items of value outside of the services. Okay, I get it. Basically saying, like, it can't be sold for money. Okay, I get it. Here's where things get interesting. We have the right to modify, delete, move, remove, or suspend any virtual items at any time with or without notice to you and with no liability of any kind. Now look, that rubs me the wrong way. If they remove something from my account, it needs to be for a reason. The Paul George glitch, for example. And I think this is probably a big thing that happened. Sure, you can remove stuff from accounts that do glitches, but they still deserve a written why. Like, this is basically saying that, oh, they can do it, without having any notice to your liability. Even though you bought them, they're not your cards. Even though it's your account that you've grinded so long on, it's not your account, it's our account. This whole thing is just so controlling. And again, it's TOS. A lot of this is just to protect 2K. It also says we may limit the period of time during which you may hold or use virtual items related to any particular game or other aspect of the services. Additionally, the price and availability of virtual items to purchase or acquire, subject to change. You agree that you have no ownership or other rights in or to any virtual items in your account. You don't have the rights to your own account. I don't know. I don't know, man. I get it's TOS, but I don't know. I do not know how I feel about this. I do not know how I could wake up tomorrow and my account be absolutely wiped when I've spent probably over the course of this year close to $1,000 in my team. And 2K has the right to say, oh, it's still our account. You don't own any of it. Like, that bugs me, and that they can modify it, change it, take away all of my players for absolutely no reason, without any liability to me, without any notice to me. And you can't opt out of this. Like, this is not an opt-out thing. You can opt out to the whatever that it was up here, the arbitrary thing up here. You can opt out of the mandatory arbitration. You cannot opt out of this virtual items. So yes, no monetary value, whatever. They really don't. My team, it's my team, okay? And you can never sell them for actual money. But they still have a value within the game mode. And for the fact that 2K to say that they can take them, delete, move, remove, or suspend them is for absolutely no reason is crazy to me. How about you focus on yourself instead of focusing on the community? Because basically what 2K is doing is they're allowing them to take advantage of us, basically saying we can never take them to court. It's just sad. They may limit the amount of virtual items that may be held at any game. Like, are they gonna limit the amount of MT we can have? What is this section really getting at? I do not know. Is it basically just so if you do take advantage of a glitch that they can just take all those cards without anything being said to you? Like, is that the point of it? I do not know. But you gotta know what you're accepting. Because at the end of the day, 2K can use these TOS against you. Don't feel bad for yourself if you spend $10,000 on the game next year and 2K wipes your account away for absolutely no reason, because they can. They don't have to give you a reason. It says in the TOS. So just know what you're accepting. That's all I want you guys to know and be aware of. Am I saying anything is badly is going to come of this? Probably not. I mean, it's just a TOS update. Nothing probably is going to happen crazily. But just know they can do anything. I upload a video talking that I'm upset about a situation, upset about something 2K does. I wake up the next day, my account's wiped. It can happen. They don't have to provide me any answers. And so that's the whole thing that really is scary with this whole, this whole virtual items thing is they don't owe us anything. Just because we spend money on the game doesn't matter. They view all these virtual items as nothing. So just know what you're signing. That's all I'm asking. And again, is it sad? Yes, most companies have something like this. But this does not look good. This whole Section 3 virtual items, it does not look good to me. And then even just if you want to go all the way up to this. I mean, really? Like, what is this mandatory arbitration? I know, again, a lot of companies probably have this. But if I'm you guys and I still want the right to all this stuff, I'd write 2K a letter. I'm not a big fan of this. Obviously, it just seems like even 2K just wants more and more control. That's really what it boils down to. And even if let's say they bring the auction house back, this looks like something to protect themselves from that. Let's say you're a sniper. 2K has the right to see you're sniping on an account. And yeah, they could wipe the items from that. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.